Hi guys, welcome back from the ad break. So we are still looking at solving problems, right? Using quadratic equations or linear equations. But now, what happens when now I have two unknowns that I need to solve at the same time? So you saw with the previous problems that we've been looking at, they all look at trying to find one unknown first and then only finding the other unknown later, because they have a relationship that is a bit easier to understand. But now if there is two relationships, right, that we need to be thinking about, how do we then solve this, right? This is then called simultaneous equations, which is what we're now looking at now. I know it sounds scary, but I'm sure you guys have actually experienced this before, and we can then just refresh some memory on that. So let's have a look at it. So when you talk about simultaneous equations, this is when you have two equations, that relate two different variables to each other, that you solve these equations simultaneously, so one after the other, right? But what the simultaneous really means is your solving depends on what you do with one variable at that time. Most of the time, we use either the substitution or the elimination method to then solve the equations, right? If both of them are linear most of the time. But if they are not linear and it's a quadratic, I will always say go to the substitution method. The elimination is mainly only when it's a linear equation that you have. But this one will be when it's a quadratic equation, right? Now, with the substitution method, what this simply means, if I have A plus B is equals to 5, right? And I have 3A plus maybe 2, actually let me not use 2B, let me just use B, plus B equals to 8. These are linear equations because the exponents here are all 1. The A has an exponent of 1, B has an exponent of 1, even with the other equation. So I can just use elimination method here, right? So this, I will use the elimination method. With the elimination method, I will say, let's take maybe the first equation, which is the one equal to 5, and subtract the second equation. If I do that, it will be A minus 3A, which is negative 2A. B minus B, it vanishes because it gives me 0. It is equals to 5 minus the 8 will give me negative 3. And then you see, I only have one variable. That's why this is called simultaneous equation. Or if now I have A is equals to B plus 5, and I have maybe A squared plus 3B is equals to 2. You can already see here that I cannot use the elimination method because the elimination method depends on me cancelling one of the variables, either using subtraction or addition. So I will then use the substitution method here. What that means is I will take this equation here, which is the first equation, and substitute it there, meaning wherever there is A, I will then plug in B plus 5. So that will be B plus 5 all squared plus 3B equals to 2. So now you can see I have only one variable. So these are just the two methods that I'm talking about. But substitution, the great thing about it is you can use it even if the equation is a linear equation. But elimination, only when it's a linear. If it's quadratic, you really cannot use elimination. Now, one question again that is adapted from the Siavula platform for grade 10 says that in total, there are 7 vehicles. Now remember, a vehicle can mean a lot of things, right? A motorbike is a vehicle, a bicycle is a vehicle, a car is a vehicle, a bus is a vehicle on the shop floor. Now the salesperson counts that there are a total of 19 wheels on all these vehicles. So on all these vehicles, no matter what the different vehicles are, there's 19 wheels that you're gonna count. Now you need to determine firstly how many motorbikes, remember motorbikes have 2 wheels, and how many tuk-tuks there are. And the tuk-tuks are normally those delivery cars that have 3 wheels, 2 at the back and 1 in front. And then a motorbike has 2 wheels. I'm just giving you an additional statement there. And a tuk-tuk has 3 wheels. So far what do I know? Let's go back. Let's go this side. So the tuk-tuk, I know that has 3, as I just said. Motorbike has 2. So I'm going to let the motorbike to be X, and I'm going to let the tuk-tuk to be Y. So I will quickly just say let X equals to the motorbike, right? And then I will say let the Y be equals to the tuk-tuks. Now, I know that I said with the previous ones, you don't necessarily need to be saying that let this be the case, let this be the case. But here now you are dealing with 2 different variables that you do not know. Remember the previous one I was saying the length of this is twice the other length. It means they both X, right? But one must be 2 times that, or one must be 5 plus that. So it is always the same thing. But now here, I'm dealing with 2 different things. So I need to specifically say which one must be X, which one must be Y. And then I can solve from there. So let's have a look at it. Now, what do I know? I know that in total, there are 7 vehicles, right? It means that X plus Y is equals to 7, right? The number of motorbikes plus the number of tuk-tuks must equal a 7. The number of wheels is going to be the motorbike is 2x, right? Each bike has 2 wheels plus the tuk-tuk has 3 wheels. So, and this must give me a total of 19 wheels. And then I will use, already you can see they are both linear, so I can just use the elimination method. To use the elimination method, I must make one variable to be the same with the other, right? So I'm just gonna multiply this by 2, right? So I'm firstly getting rid of the x, and then I will solve y, and then at a later stage work out what I want. So if I do that, this becomes 2x plus 2y equals to 14, and this is 2x plus 3y equals to 19, right? I've just rewritten the other equation as is, and then I'm going to use subtraction here. The first equation minus the second equation, so that will give me 2x minus 2x is 0. 2y minus 3y will give me negative y equals to 14 minus 19 will give me negative 5, and then it means that I have y is equals to 5. What does this mean? It means that I have 5 tuk-tuks, right? So for tuk-tuks, I have 15 wheels. The other one, automatically, you know that it will mean that I have 2 motorbikes. But to do that, you can use this original equation here. So you'll say x plus 5 equals to 7, then x will be equals to 2. Then you will conclude motorbikes are 2, and then the tuk-tuks are 5. In total, they said there is 7 of them, and 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4 wheels, and 5 multiplied by 3 gives me 15 wheels. In total, they said there is 19 wheels. So that's just an extra thing that I'm just showing you so that you understand how to do this. Firstly, make sure you understand that vehicles does not necessarily mean cars, because I know that most of us, when you think about a vehicle, you think, it's a car or it's a bus. No, a vehicle can even be a bicycle or a tricycle, right? Or a quad bike. It can be anything that has wheels. We call it a vehicle. Now, firstly, you let the one vehicle to be a certain variable, the other one you assign it another variable, and then you set up your equations. I know the total must be 7, so when you add them, it must be 7. I know the number of wheels, it means when I multiply each with the number of wheels, I must get 19. So I do that as well. And then it gives me 2 equations. Then I have a simultaneous equation, which is a very beautiful thing to actually do. Guys, I hope you are enjoying maths. I'm really having so much fun here. But for now, let's take a quick ad break and we'll be back with some more questions to look at.